Right. So this was a confidential IPO filing last week from SpaceX, Elon Musk's rocket company, which is now also Elon Musk's AI company, because in February he merged SpaceX with XAI, which owns Twitter, but also makes the a chatbot that is competitive with Anthropic and OpenAI. And what is happening right now is bankers from SpaceX are shopping this thing, trying to take the temperature. And the idea is to get this out very quickly. They're talking about as early as June, and at valuations that are very high. We've seen a bunch of different reports, but earlier this week, Bloomberg said that in some cases, talking about valuations over 2 trillion.
Wow.
Putting that in perspective, it would make SpaceX, one of the most valuable companies in the world. We are going to see some other big IPOs, and I don't think we know for sure which one will be the biggest. Anthropic, a lot of good news coming out of that company lately. They are trying to go public, and OpenAI as well. So it's kind of a race between these three companies to get out first and go biggest.
What do we know, Max, about the financials of SpaceXI?
Well, we know a little bit because although SpaceX is a private company, it's been private for a very long time. They've done tender offers. The stock has, or the equity has traded on secondary markets. This is a company that has done pretty well. Reports suggesting that, and Bloomberg Intelligence estimates suggesting revenues just under $20 billion, mostly coming from Starlink. That is the satellite internet business that SpaceX
Right.
operates. You also have significant revenue coming from government contracts. SpaceX provides launches for the US government. Now, at $2 trillion, though, it's a very small company to be worth $2 trillion. So most of the valuation is going to come essentially from the future, which is how Elon Musk always likes it. The latest story from
Yep.
Musk is data centers in space.
Exactly. How about control here? Elon Musk, is he going to, how will he keep control of this company? Is there maybe a super voting stock being discussed?
I believe they're talking about super voting, although I'm not 100% sure on that one. And the truth is, it doesn't really matter. Elon Musk doesn't have super voting with Tesla,
Yeah,
but he
sure.
does control it because of the kind of unique relationship Elon Musk has with his investors. My assumption is he will get control. He's been fighting for control with Tesla, whether it's through super voting shares or some other mechanism. But yes, the expectation is he is going to run the company as the sole CEO, sole decider, just as it is in Tesla.
Is there, I guess among Tesla investors, there's also the hope or potential that SpaceXI, once it is public, will just roll up and buy Tesla and put all of Elon's toys in one place. What are you hearing about that?
Yeah, I think that is widely regarded, not just among kind of Tesla investors, not just among Elon Musk's fans, but also people who are looking at the SpaceX IPO as a strong possibility. Partly because Musk has kind of hinted at that. This data center in space plan involves a massive chip fab, the so-called terafab, which yesterday Elon Musk announced a partnership with Intel, big American chip maker. That is a SpaceX Tesla joint venture. You also have this situation where the shareholder bases are going to be pretty similar. SpaceX's IPO, they're talking about as much as 30%, maybe even more retail shareholders. That's a
Yeah,
lot
it
of
is.
retail shareholders. That's the kind of Elon Musk fan community. Those are, of course, the same people that hold Tesla shares. So, I think one risk here is the question of, do they have enough money? Are there enough of those people to bid up both stocks, or are you going to see people selling Tesla shares maybe
Good
to
point.
buy SpaceX shares, something like that? And so you could imagine arguments for, hey, it'd be simpler. This same CEO, we're kind of pushing in the same direction, which is AI. Why not just put them together? This will get very messy if Elon Musk actually tries to pull this off, because even though Tesla is controlled by Elon Musk, there's still a lot of shareholders that, this would be controversial, it'd be a
Yep.
mega inside transaction. There would be questions about valuation. So I think a lot of things would have to fall into place for that to actually happen.